afternoon. This is Chris Brecher with a Simpler Stocks free video for February 25th, 2016. It's 4:08, as you see here, about 8 minutes after the bell. So what was today all about? Today was all about oil and the banks. So like I had mentioned a lot of times in here, is basically what happens is the market has been really attached to both industries. So let me show you on here what I'm talking about. It's right here. You have right now the futures up 14, really an explosion at the end of the day. You have the bonds reverse, you have the Nikkei reverse, you have the transport still down 34. You have crude oil up 38 cents, and I guess that's the biggest news today, is that, and also that the banks, like the Goldman Sachs of the world, was down 5 points and closed up 69. So let's go right to the charts and show you what I'm looking at. Number one, we were talking about this on the Simpler Stocks Premium chat before the opening, is this. Is that you have the 78-minute chart, and this is the problem with the ESs, is that they went right to support. So the whole idea we were trying to decide in here was, were the ESs a measuring gap or were they going to reverse? So how do you try to decide how to do a measuring gap? Let me give you the tells that I use. Number one, we talked about the overbought condition right at resistance. Second thing, and I mentioned this before the opening, that you had to be real careful because this is the time of year when the market, if it plunges, companies actively go and buy back their stock. So you can't trust the bearish patterns as well as you can at periods when they can't buy back the stock. Let me give you a for instance of this. I know I've mentioned this a lot of times. Here's Expedia. See Expedia over here? Look how many times it looked like it was going to collapse and it came right back. When did it finally collapse? When the day they couldn't buy back their stock. Companies cannot buy back their stock 5 weeks prior to their earnings or 2 days after. So in Expedia, the time the bearish chart worked was when they couldn't buy back their stock. Well, conversely, but bearish charts don't work right now when companies can buy back their stock. So what were some of the tells intraday we could have seen? Number one, I'm going to put crude oil up here. And I'm going to put it on a 78-minute chart. Well, 78 is fine. And I'm going to put ESs. Notice the support in crude oil on the right stopped right at support. Notice the ESs on the left stopped right at support. The whole idea is the tail wagged the dog. They both stopped at support. Now, the thing in here that you have to realize, I had said all along that I thought the ESs would go to 1900. Why did I say that? Because oil and ESs are going hand in hand, at least for now. They don't always. But when oil got under this level, and I'm going to expand this so you can see it. When it got under this little level right there, that corresponded to under that level right here. So I said if oil got down to this level, that's like the ES is getting down to this level. It went almost exactly there. So the premium subscribers did great on that trade. Now the thing is, intraday, what do you look at for tells? Here's the ESs, and we had talked about a measuring gap. And what do I mean by that? Here's the ESs on a 24-hour chart. You can't see it as well. But on the right, look at the ESs. If you take off aftermarket activity. What you see in here is a gap. So you might say, well, that's a measuring gap. The thing you have to understand about this is if there are other products that had similar measuring gaps, but they look like they're going to fill them, then you better not assume it's going to work. The other thing, and this is right out of my class I did on patterns, when you have a measuring gap, you have to be sure that the projection of the gap isn't right into support. That's exactly what you got here. So number one, you had to be wary because of the buybacks. Number two, you had to be wary because it was selling off into support. And number three, look at the ES, the crude oil on the left. And now look at the gap with crude oil on the right. And you'll see, doesn't this look familiar? The second it looked like it was going to fill the gap, the overall market took off. Right to support like you see here, and then the ESs just went the same way. So that's what I was watching in there. Another thing, if you don't want to watch oil, here's a great tell for you, and we went over this before the opening. That's what's fun about this, that I showed these prior to the market ever opening. I was mentioning that you have to watch this, the ADD. The ADD is the New York advances minus the decliners. And I want to put this on a 5-minute chart and show you something great. When the market was making new lows in here, this was only down 1,500. Usually when the futures are down 25 points, the advanced decline is minus 2,400. People all the time ask me about this and ask, how did you know that it wasn't a trend day on the downside? And the reason is because every little uptick of the ESs corresponded to a big uptick in the advanced declines. Anytime you ever see that, I can't tell you how important it is to realize that when the advanced declines is actually relatively shallow, that those are the times where it's ripe for a reversal, which is exactly what you saw this time. So that's something to keep in mind in there. And so those are the type of things we talk about. What are we going to talk about tonight? And I'm going to post on the charts for the premium side. We're going to look at special situations like the Googles of the world. How could you have traded Google today? What were the patterns that you would have seen? Let me give you a hint. Try to figure what that pattern is right there. There were a lot of different charts that had that particular pattern, and we're going to be talking about it on the premium site. So everybody have a nice night. Like you know, we have a $7 30-day trial. We've had thousands of people actually take us up on it. Last night we had a free chat where I went over the ATR trailing stop and how to use it. It was free to premium subscribers. We were going to be on 15 minutes. We stayed on an hour. It was a blast. So I hope everybody can try out the trial, and I will talk to you tomorrow.